The second stage I've noticed is the infant. Now, honestly, again, this surprised me how much was said. Oftentimes we talk about children and teenagers and so on, but the first two stages the Bible spends time on is the fetus and the infant. The principal teaching is critical when they're infants. Moses and Samuel were trained at this age. Moses was taught by his Hebrew mother, and as soon as he was weaned, he was put into the Egyptian culture and still served God with his whole life. 120 years he served God with his whole life. That's important. So that means the infant stage is important. Samuel was sent to be raised in the home of a man who did not know how to raise children. And he still served God. 1 Peter chapter 2 says, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word. Let me tell you something about infants. Growth is a number one priority for infants. Learning how to growing correctly. Think about their growth. Think about nutrition. Think about, and I'm not telling you, you ought to feed your kids carrots. God help them. If you like cooked carrots, bless your heart. I'll pray for you. But I'm not telling you that you need to, to feed them all vegetables and there shouldn't be ice cream. The ice cream is important. It's a very critical part of growth. Anyway, I'm not saying they can't have French fries and all those things. But remember what a child is taken into their body. They are learning habits. Hello. As an infant, their brains are on overload. Do you realize they're learning a language? They're learning everything about life. They're learning behavior skills. These are important things to remember. And what you put into their bodies are things that will carry throughout their whole life. You're going to learn that at this stage, they learn commitment to God. And listen to what I have to say here. In Genesis 17, it talks about circumcision. Circumcision was done on the 8th day. I want to tell you what that is. We're talking about commitment to God. It was a commitment to God on the 8th day, and it was their parents. Listen, their parents made this choice for them, for the young man. The parents did it. The boys didn't know. They didn't make the choice. It was the parents. The parents chose for them to commit themselves to God in this way on the 8th day. That's infant. Listen to me. The Bible says in Joshua said, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. He didn't say we might, we should, we probably ought to. He said, listen, I want you guys to know something. My kids, my family, we're serving God. End of story. That's not up for dispute or discussion. The Bible says that God came to Abraham and he said, shall I withhold that thing? Genesis 19. Shall I withhold that thing from Abraham, that thing which I do? For I know him, here's what it says, for I know him that he shall command his children and his children's children after them to follow me. I want to tell you, we live in a culture right now where we're taught everybody do whatever you want to do. Parents are told, well, I just want the kids to figure out, well, I want them to express themselves. And if this is you, God bless you. Let me just say this for a second. I don't mean to be bashing anyone here, but, well, I just want the kids to express themselves. So we're going to let them dress how they want to dress. So you're going to put pink socks and purple, and don't start me on colors. I don't know how to do all this. But mixing all these colors and weirdos looking like weirdos. And well, hey, they want purple hair today. God bless them. You know what? If God wanted them to have purple hair, he'd have given them purple hair. Come on. Well, they want to have these marks and things all over their bodies. Let them express themselves. Listen, I want you to understand something. God gave your kids parents for a reason. You're supposed to parent. That means you tell them, no, you don't do that. Yes, you do this. Look, they're telling us today. I was down at the high school the other day. I was in the administration building talking to one of the administrators there, and he said to me, look, we have to meet the kids where they're at. I'm very, very well aware of that. You also have to meet them at who they are, not who they think they are. If a little boy wants to act like a girl, my wife and I were watching TikTok videos last night, for a little bit. We're waiting for our company to get there. And boy, are they funny, some of them. And this one was showing up. This boy gets up there. Well, these girls, all these girls on there doing all their makeups and stuff. And this one girl, she's like, oh, I just got it. And I'm like, really? Do we have to watch this? And then up comes a boy. And he's doing the exact same stuff, putting on blush and all this stuff. And I just got to do my thing. And what? Somebody needs to roll that boy in the dirt. Look, listen to me, Mama. I know you love your little boy. And you think it's sweet for him to take care of a dolly. But God help him. If you're feeding him a dolly to hold and carry, give him a truck and a chainsaw. Come on. Come on, these kids need to learn. They learn this stuff when they're infants. When they're not even weaned yet. They're not even walking around yet. They start learning who they are. And you sometimes have to tell them who they are. Hello? They don't even know their name. You got to say, well, your name is. You have to tell them everything. Right? They don't know whether they're a boy or a girl. They don't know the difference. That's why you're a parent. If you say, well, God made them, however, I'm just going to let you. Well, I know that's true. Their spirit and everything. God formed them. He made them. Hello, He made them boys, male and female. So you got to teach them how male and female work. And that's one of the problems with our culture. Psalm 131 in verse 2. Surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as a weaned child, the infant, learning how to control themselves. This is something they need to learn. By the time they're weaned, you've heard of terrible twos. Got a granddaughter right there right now. We're enjoying every second of it. The truth is, I know our parents are not enjoying as much as we are, but we are watching and having a good time and watching it. But the thing is that before they are past this stage, they need to learn self-control. This is something you have to focus on. A child needs to learn how to quiet themselves. Teach them how to quiet themselves. If you do this at home, you won't have to do it at the restaurant or Walmart. Security, Luke 2:12 talks about wrapped in swaddling clothes. This is something they learn as an infant. They learn security. Those wrapped in swaddling clothes, being taken care of. Their spirit is formed at this point. Luke 2:40, Jesus increased in wisdom. In his spirit, the Bible says, became strong. Psalm 8:2 talks about this. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength. What? Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings. We're talking about children that have not yet been weaned. That was ordained strength because of thine enemies. God uses children. He wants to speak through them and to them. Those do not say, well, we'll just wait till we can reason with them. You got a long wait. You're teaching them how to reason now. Teach them. The Bible talks about doctrine. And Isaiah, he said, here a little, there a little. Doctrine needs to be taught these children.